Chapter 14, From Paris with Love. Now playing as Levy, the view from your Parisian hotel room is stunning, but you're completely focused on your head of security as he gives you an update. What's going on with the Pat situation? Not much. I've got investigators following, but that man leads one hell of a boring life. You pause and cock your head, listening as the shower continues running in the next room. You have a big date planned for Ella tonight, so you have to keep this conversation brief. He hasn't done anything suspicious or spoken to anyone out of the ordinary. He hasn't even seen Trishana. You wish there was a faster way to get answers, but there's no way you're showing Pat how much he'd rattled you. For now, it's best to play the waiting game. If Trishana isn't the source of his information, who else could be? Someone close to Ella? At her office, maybe? Wouldn't it be too hard to convince one of them to sell her new address to the highest bidder? That sounds potentially dangerous. I like the idea of her working around people who'd use her like that. Beef up security at her apartment and office. Her safety is the most important thing. Done. Anything else? You scrub a hand along the back of your neck, trying your best not to let the image of Pat Rancic sour your mood. The man is out to destroy Ella's life, you're sure of it. Until we know what Pat's doing and why, I want Ella protected from him, got it? Don't let Pat get within 100 feet of her. You can count on me, boss. Anderson ducks out of the room to get to work. A few minutes later, the shower turns off and Ella emerges from the bathroom wearing nothing but her undies. After the conversation you just had with Anderson, the only thing you want to do right now is throw her under the bed and cover her body with your own. Quick, bullet, get down! No, I'm kidding. The best way to protect a woman like this is to mark her as mine everywhere. You're about to do just that when you notice the expression on her face and pause. She looks annoyed with you. Okay. Ella. What's wrong? She flushes all over, a sharp intake of breath full of outrage and interest. How am I supposed to get ready for a date if I don't know where we're going? Why are you giving me this irritation? Is that what's bothering you? It's not funny. You won't tell me anything about our plans. Or a ball gown, sundress, leather corset. As intriguing as the last one sounds. A few days in Paris and all of a sudden you're the one calling the shots. That's not what I meant. I don't care what you meant. You're not in charge here. Levy, I didn't... What did you call me? Her eyes fly open in quick surprise. She realizes her hair almost at once, her eyelashes fluttering in delicious confusion. Sir, I meant sir. You firm your stance and slide a finger under her chin. She gulps, but allows you to lift her head. Someone seems to have forgotten who has all the power around here. I'm sorry, sir. It won't happen again. I know it won't. I'm damn well gonna make sure of it. What? Why? What will you do to me? Get on your knees. Move your hand to her shoulder and press lightly on it. With a quiver of her lower lip, she sinks to her knees in front of you. I really am sorry. I don't believe I gave you permission to speak. She gulps and lowers her gaze. No, sir. You circle slowly around her, satisfied when she adjusts her pose to one of complete submission. If there was time, I'd punish you properly for your attitude. Slide a hand along the back of her head, forcing her gaze to meet yours. The hunger in her eyes is impossible to resist. You drop your lips close to hers. You deserve for me to take this pretty little mouth as hard as I want. Please, sir, I promise to be good. You drop her mouth until it almost touches her lips. The soft panting of her breath is so close. Please. That's what you want. That's what you'd like, isn't it? For me to kiss you until you can't breathe. Till your whole body is on fire for more. You speak the words against her parted lips, your mouth lightly brushing hers. She opens up and moans for you to take her. God, yes. Too bad. You pull abruptly away, satisfied by how hard she's breathing. For the rest of the night, I want you to think about how good it could have been. How much you want my mouth on you. If you'd only been a good girl. That's not fair. I think you've had enough for now. There's plenty of time to punish you later. Should I be worried? Always. I am at your service, sir. You nod your approval and move to the closet to get her a date outfit. You've been itching to get your hands on Ella all day to dress her up and make her your own. Diamond choice. Say je t'aime on your last night in Paris. Wait, haven't we just got here? I'm confused. I asked Marie Bebinianox to send over an outfit for each of us. You'll wear it and you'll like it. At the mention of the famous French designer's name, Ella's eyes light up. You pull out the dress in question, a tight-fitting couture gown that makes the most of every curve of her delicious body. I told you once that I'll always take care of my toys. Come here so I can dress you. She steps forward, placing herself submissively in front of you. She moans softly as you run a hand up the side of her, gently lifting her arms above her head. She arches into you with a satisfied sigh. You leave her standing with her arms above her head, her body aching for your touch until a soft cry escapes her. Don't hurry me. I plan to get the most out of this dress. You run your fingers gently up her arms, enjoying the way she shivers. You blow a light breath over the back of her neck. Goosebumps break out over her skin. You finally give in and guide the gown over her head. It slips into place perfectly, highlighting the nip of her waist and generously flaring curves above and below it. Oh. You lower your hands to her hips and hold her in place, dropping her mouth to the slope of her shoulder. You leave a trail of hot, light kisses as you go. Damn, Ella. The only thing better than putting this dress on you is going to be taking it off again. You zip the dress up, securing it tightly across her body. You turn her around to face you. She's just as beautiful as you'd hope, and already dazed with desire. Now it's my turn. She watches wide-eyed as you pull out an outfit that almost rivals hers for expense and design. Do I get to watch you get dressed too? Yeah, but see, she gets to not touch it though. I'll go with what I feel comfortable. Would that please you? Yes. Then you may look, but no touching. She nods and tucks her hands behind her back as you begin to get dressed. Am I allowed to speak, sir? You pause in the react of removing her shirt to lift a brow at her. Is there something specific you have to say? No, just that you're gorgeous. She swiftly lowers her gaze. You smile at her sweet compliment and the bright heat of the desire in her eyes. Look good. Except for the bow tie. I've never been a fan of bow ties, I'm not gonna lie. Shall we? Ella can barely look away long enough to meet your gaze. Sir? Don't look at me like that. The night is young and I intend to make you suffer through every minute of it. Well, if that was the case, we would have made her turn around. A few minutes later, you hold the door open for Ella. She slips into the back of a limousine. Are you gonna tell me where we're going now? Nope. And the more you ask, the less I'm gonna say. You slide in next to her and tap on the privacy glass. The driver has already been given instructions to your destination. There's no need for further communication. I'm already seeing the Sienne and the Fontaine des Marais. We're going to the Eiffel Tower, aren't we? Ella. You ruined the surprise. I warned you not to guess. She tries to tamp down on her excitement, but she can barely hold still. Will we get to go on a tour? Yes, brat. And will we ride to the top? You can't help laughing at her unabashed delight. Even though you've been to Paris dozens of times, being here with Ella is like seeing it through fresh eyes. I rented the place out for the evening. You can scale the walls if you want to. Oh, Spider-Woman's here? You expect Ella to start peppering you with questions about the evening ahead, but she grows pensive. Is something wrong? I thought you'd enjoy having the Eiffel Tower all to yourself. It's perfect to just... She reaches for her bag and clasps it in her lap before casting a shy glance up at you. The timing... The thing is, I planned a surprise for you too. You can tell me if I'm being too forward, but you're so touched by this gesture that you find your throat growing suddenly tight. You can't remember the last time anyone tried surprising you. And then she reaches into her purse and pulls out a small remote control that fits in the palm of your hand. You recognize it at once. Well, well. Looks like you got yourself a surprise, too. She flushes all over, her gaze unable to meet yours. She pulls out the discreet item that goes along with the remote, confirming your guess. I thought, that maybe you'd want to use it on me. Ella. You didn't have my permission to buy this toy. You touched your head and examined it, already imagining it. Yep, okay. You deserve to be punished right here and now. I thought you'd like it. I do like it, but I don't like the sub who thinks she gets to call the shots. I'm sorry. It was my friend Mallory's idea. You make a mental note to have Anderson investigate this Mallory woman as Ella risks a quick peek up at you. When she told me what they're used for, I couldn't stop thinking about it, and about you having that kind of control over me. This isn't for beginners. Once it's inside, I control everything. A soft moan escapes her lips. Please, sir, can we try it? You're powerless against her plea, and against your own desire to play with her. You're already imagining all the ways you can torture her. Oh, Lord. One of our last night appears to be unforgettable, and this is sure to please us both. I confiscated it. That's right. As intrigued as you are by it, and her boldness in buying it, you shake her head and tuck the thing away. I love your innovativeness, but there's no way you're ready for something like this yet. I was looking forward to it. Too bad. The next time you want to buy something special to play with, you'd better get permission first. Yes, sir. Listen, I had to do it, okay? Choices, yada yada yada. Of course, that doesn't mean we can't have a little fun tonight if you want to spend the evening squirming. You can go au naturel. Labby. Really? This shit again? You lean back in your leather seat and hold out your hand. Give them to me. For the rest of the night, I want you to naked under that dress. But she casts a scared look at the security glass, and you shake your head in warning. The driver isn't who you should be worried about. Hand them over. She shimmies in a more comfortable position before reaching under her dress. You catch a glimpse of the silkiness before she starts working them down her body. I can't believe you're making me do this. Where are you gonna put them? That's not your concern. She slides them down, unhooks them, and the delicate scrap of lace is already damp. The limo slows down and Ella gapes as the Eiffel Tower comes into view. I've never seen anything like this. You don't pay attention to the scene outside the window, too captivated by her breathless wonder. Wait until we get to the top. You can watch all of Paris from up there. Are we really gonna have it all to ourselves all night? You smile at her naive pleasure. Not quite. There are a few people waiting for us at the top. Before you know it, you stepped out on the elevator at the top of the tower to the low, dulcet tones of the Orchestra de Paris. Ella gasps at the rows of live musicians and wonder they're in the back corner of the platform to give you as much privacy as possible. Are you serious? The whole orchestra's here for us? Ella, I'd give you all of Paris if I could. Since I can't wrap up a city and present it to you with a bow, the most famous Parisian orchestra is the next best thing. It's amazing. You move a hand to the small of her back, propel her forward. The gentle sway of her hips remind you that she's not wearing anything underneath her dress. Because we needed a reminder 30 seconds later. I can see Notre Dame from here, and the Champ de Mars. It goes on forever. As you come to stand behind her, the two of you looking out over the railing, she leans into you. You drop a hand to her hip and hold her there, inhaling the sweet scent of her perfume. I don't know how a night like this could get any better. Thank you for everything, Levy. It's hard to believe we have to head home tomorrow. This whole thing has been like a dream. Something about the scene, twinkling, Ella purring against you, the gratitude in her voice makes you feel uneasy. It's nothing. People take weekend getaways all the time. Not people like me. A few months ago, I was trapped in a loveless marriage with no end in sight. I could have never predicted that life would lead me here, standing on top of the Eiffel Tower with the most gorgeous man in the world. I know it's sappy, but you changed my life. I never could have done any of this without you. You step back, suddenly feeling as though your chest is constricting. Ella... It has nothing to do with me. You've gotten to the point, with or without me. I just helped to pave the path. She shakes her head or stands defiant. You have no idea what you do to people, do you? Control them? Or dominate them? No, Levy. You lift them up. Sensing the need for a distraction, and fast, you hold out your hand and execute a slight bow. It's a damn shame to let all this music go to waste, shall we dance? I love that. You pull her into your arms, holding her as close as you dare. The evening is ripe for romance, but that's the one thing you need to avoid at all costs. Bro, listen, you've already surpassed that, okay? Like, you've taken this to peak romantic levels without even, like, knowing it. This dude is ignorant if this is the case. I should have known you'd be a good dancer on top of everything else. If the human body is capable of it, I've mastered it. As the song ends, Ella presses her lips against the side of your neck. She doesn't have permission to kiss you, but her next words rob you of speech. You've done so much for me tonight. Is there anything I can do to return the favor, sir? Oh, it's high time I showed her how to please me. And Paris is the perfect setting for this kind of lesson. Give her a lesson in pleasing her dom. Well, we know where this is gonna lead. Trail carefully, young Skywalker. As a matter of fact, there is something you and your hot mouth can do for me. Whisper sweet nothings. Her little mouth falls open in surprise. You take advantage by swooping down and pressing a hard kiss that leaves no room for doubt. Her tongue is eager as it slides along yours. You practically feel that mouth working the rest of your body already. Please, sir, tell me how I can serve you. First thing we're gonna do is getting out of here. There's something else I want to show you. You take her by the hand and lead her towards the waiting elevators. You have one more destination in mind, and it's a lot more private than this one. What, you don't want the orchestra players watching you? Soon, you lead her under a riverboat destined for the midnight cruise along with the Seine. The twinkling night stars create the perfect backdrop. Don't worry, little lamb. We're totally alone out here, except for the captain and his crew below deck, and all the lovers taking a moonlight stroll along the river. She swallows heavily as she glances over this nice cityscape. In the night air, you can only see the shapes and shadows of passerbyers, and they can only see the shapes and shadows of you. As the boat begins churning steadily through the water, you lean against the railing. On your knees. Her eyes grow wide at the short, sharp command. Here now? Ella, be good and you'll get a reward. You beckon her closer with the crook of your finger. Nothing can hurt you while you're under my protection. Not even you? You won't know until you get on your knees and find out, will you? As she settles in her position, she licks her lips and risks a peek up at you. How may I serve you, sir? Oh no. Basically, she's gonna use the tip Mallory used about the champagne, I'm just saying. After doing the champagne trick, there was a mount chicka wee. Even though the words are meant to be light and teasing, you can't help feeling the sudden chill of the night air. Don't worry, I know exactly what kind of influence I can be. A bad one, like she said. After the unforgettable weekend with Ella, you're having a difficult time getting back into the daily grind of work. No matter how many legal briefs you try to bury yourself in, you can't stop thinking about Ella. Oh, I need to get a serious grip on myself. It was just Paris. I've been there dozens of times before. You pull up a particular nasty divorce case to distract yourself. A dispute over a priceless family heirloom should help you get your head back in the game. You've just picked up the phone to call the client when it buzzes in your hand with a text from Ella. Is there something you forgot to tell me? That's no way to greet your dumb. Try again. With respect this time. With respect, is there something you forgot to tell me? I'll give you one more chance, but only because you pleased me so much in Paris. I don't care about your chances. My office is crawling with security guards. You wouldn't happen to know something about that, would you? Oops. You put your phone down with a curse. Ella clearly sounds pissed that you beefed up security at her work. How the hell do I explain this without telling her about Pat? You just tell her about Pat. It's that simple. Without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down description below, links to social media, Discord, and if you'd like to support me and my content. Without further ado, let me just say the following. I tried the best, to avoid, the scenes while giving you guys the whole, experience. Let me know what you think about the book and the whole 9 yards about it. I don't know. Can I just say this from a guy's perspective? Can I just, for once? You women read this stuff all the time, right? And I get it. Who wouldn't want it? Swept away on lavish trips, given everything. Things that no reasonable human being can ever give you, and unfortunately your expectations of that, person existing and doing it for you are, well, it's kind of like me going, yeah, I would love to make today, for whatever reason, it came across my timeline about a content creator who sells herself online, and she is Amaranth, and let me just put it that way. And she makes $1.5 million a month, right? And they brag about how much money she's making, and she sells jars of bath water to dumbasses on the internet for $1,000 a jar. And I'm sitting there going, well, then why isn't every single woman doing that? It would supply and demand and all this other garbage, and then her shit would be no worth it, because most of you watching are probably far more better intellectually, personality, as well as better looking than her, if I'm being honest. And I just sit here and I just go, this world is just unreasonable, stupid shit left and right. And then I look at books like this and I'm like, there's no way for even myself, let alone most guys, to ever, be this great, right? Like, there's no way. It's so unreasonable, it's so overzealous, it's so over just dramatic that it's just like, women, I feel like there's a lot of women who expect this to happen, right? And it leaves a lot of the good guys in the I don't know, like we don't dress, properly, or drive the really nice cars, or look a certain way, and I don't know. Just let me put it this way: guys like me feel hopeless because we have expectations of this garbage, right? We have expectations of this garbage, and while I can treat you like a queen, right? It's just we always have to worry about the possibility of someone being better. someone having more money, someone looking better, someone sounding better. I mean, literally, I've had people come to me and be like, like the voices are great and all, right? But then they see me and they're like, well, you're not as attractive as I thought you were. Or you sounded. I've literally been told that several times, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. Which, again, people get these things in their mind, and then they set these standards, and then they're impossible to ever reach, and it just sucks. It just sucks. But yeah, without further ado, thanks again for watching. Love you, beautiful faces. Catch you all next time. Peace out.